Hello and welcome to EUTV Sports Update. We'll be looking at the latest sports news from Evangel University and around the region. I'm Cadence Washam.
We'll also look at the college games across the nation and check out the latest happenings in professional sports. I'm Nathan Amati, and this is Sports Update on EUTV. At some of the games that recently have happened, some of them that I really thought that were really cool is the track and field. They did a lot of good performances. Yeah. 10 out of 15. Wow. 10 of students got to the top 15 of different records that happened at this last thing that we did.
That is very neat. And the triple jump and the high jump did very well.
Yes.
And then baseball played a nationally ranked CMU this weekend, and they didn't have the game they really wanted, but they played really well. So good for them, but not the results we were looking for. So.
Yeah. Evangel men's and women's track and field team competed this last Saturday in the David Ram Gorilla Classic in Pittsburgh, Kansas. Joshua Leisure finished in 6th place with a height a little over 13 meters in the triple jump, securing 6th place in the tournament. Jacob Gillians, Nash Gantham, and Logan Rogers all tied for 6th place in the high jump with a mark a little under 2 meters. And lastly, Delaney Weimer, who ran an impressive time of little under 12.5 seconds in the 100-meter dash, placed 7th in the tournament.
On Saturday, the Evangel women's and men's tennis team hosted the McPherson Bulldogs. Despite putting up a great effort, they did not get the results they were hoping for. McPherson was picked to finish first in the preseason polls. On the women's team, the Valor could pick up a point in singles play by Lydia Balajeski. But despite their exceptional effort, they fell short against the strong Bulldogs squad 6-1. The men's team fought hard, but they were unable to gain a victory over the Bulldogs, who are ranked 21st in the nation. Both teams hit the road this weekend looking to get back on track and continue the rest of their spring season.
The Evangel women's softball team went up against Central Methodist this last Saturday in a doubleheader in Fayette, Missouri. During the first 4 innings, Evangel scored a smashing 2 runs, with Central wasn't able to obtain 1 run. During the first 3 innings, both Evangel and Methodist were able to secure 1 run. With a final score of 3-1, Evangel defeated Central during the first game. During the second game, neither team was able to gain a run until overtime. Central Methodist was able to grab 1 run, but Evangel wasn't able to secure a run. With a final score of 1-0, Central Methodist defeated Evangel the second game.
Evangel baseball hosted nationally ranked Central Methodist this weekend in a doubleheader. The Valor played a well-developed and advanced team that swept them. The first game, the Valor was able to be competitive with the Eagles, keeping the game scoreless until the 4th inning, when the Valor scored 2 runs and the Eagles scored 3. In the 6th inning, the Eagles took control of the game, finishing game 1 with a score of 10-3. The Valor had 10 hits recorded in game 1, and Brendan Epstein went 4 for 5 at the plate, leading the team. Game 2, Cook singled in the bottom of the 2nd and Simmons singled in the bottom of the 3rd, but the Valor could not score either runner as they ultimately went hitless over the final 4 innings, falling 19-0.
So just looking at some of the softball games, we won. We dominated like the first game barely, but then during the second game, we weren't able to get a point even when we went into overtime, sadly. But I mean, a split game, it was pretty good. Yeah,
and that was the first time they beat CMU since 2018. So that's really impressive too, that they were able to defeat CMU. And then tennis had a very hard weekend playing a ranked 21st nation McPherson was.
Yeah.
And most of our teams this weekend played a national ranked team. So this was a tough week for the Valor, but great efforts.
Great efforts. Coming up next, I'll be here with track athlete Bryce Cody.
And later, we'll look at some of the big games in the MLB, XFL, and the NBA.
You're not sitting here.
Yes, I am.
Move! Give it to him hard!
No.
Every day, kids witness bullying.
Why are you stabbing me with it? No.
They want to help,
Ow.
but don't know how.
Oh,
Teach your kids how to be more than a bystander. Visit stopbullying.gov.
I think someone at my friend's school has this thing called autism. My friend's brother's son has autism. My neighbor's son has autism. My son has autism.
Autism is getting closer to home. Today, 1 in 88 children is diagnosed with autism. That's a 1,000% increase in the last 40 years. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush your teeth. Every day and every night. Now it's your parents' turn. Here's what you gotta do. Let them have your toothbrush so that they can brushy brush your teeth. Great job, you're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Help your teeth stay healthy. Brushy brush with a grown-up every day.
Can you sit with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read.
So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child.
So let's join hands, book people unite. Unearth hidden passion. Come on, we'll have a good time.
One book could be the funniest kind of thing. Helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
Welcome back with Valor track season coming to a close. I'm here with Evangel track athlete Evan Espinoza. Thanks for being with us today, Evan.
Yeah, man, it's good to be here.
Awesome. So I wanted to know a little bit more about how you got a part of track.
Yeah, I visited when I was a junior in high school. I visited the school. I ran cross country and track 4 years in high school. And visited, loved the coaches. Actually came out and ran like a half marathon.
Really?
Yeah, helped pace one of the girls to qualify for nationals. And that was like a really cool experience. I don't think you get that as a visitor, especially in high school a lot. So that was really cool to run with the guys at a race that like meant a lot as a visitor and as a prospect. And I love the coaches came in.
Yeah.
Visited my senior year for Founders, and that's when I knew, I was picking Evangel to run. So it was fun.
That is really cool. And just to speed up a little bit, during the season, how's the team been doing?
Team's been really good. Our coach, Staley, he's crazy at recruiting. So he's taken big steps, especially in our throwing group, is doing insane. We've got 2 freshmen. One started throwing jab 5 days before he threw it the first time and qualified for A standard. He just became second in the nation. Our other dude is Kobe's 7th or 9th, I think, in the nation. Both freshmen, so a lot of potential there. Our girls are doing really well. Emily Harris is 4th in 3 events in the conference right now.
Wow.
She's also a freshman. So we're looking really good. We've got a lot of areas with a lot of potential. We brought in a new distance coach that's added a lot of depth, so it's looking really good so far.
Since you've been here as a student, because you're just talking about how you've been in the track for a long time, have you seen a lot of your peers grow a lot, and also these upcoming freshmen as well? Have you seen a lot of strength in them as well?
Yeah, especially as a distance runner and on the distance side of things, we're probably some of the weirdest people on the team. And you bring in even some Evangel people homeschooled, you go, it's a whole nother dimension.
Yeah.
And so people have grown a lot on our team. We've seen guys grow a lot into not only, especially because distance running is such a mental strain, growing past that mental barrier that it takes to become an elite runner. And just whether it's in the weight room, it's in training, it's in mileage, adapting running ideologies, trusting in the training that the coach gives you. A lot of our team has grown in different areas, and just not only as runners, but as people as well.
Awesome. So, as a student that has been a part of track for a while, has there been a bond with the group as you've been doing like the distance running? Has there been like a really awesome like bond between you and the other players as well?
Yeah, I definitely think that's one thing that distance runners do. That's what makes us like distance runners, and why people think we're so weird is just because like we get so tight so fast. I definitely felt it my freshman year and years on. It's happened every year where we come in like a week before the rest of the student body, and we have our fall camp where we run together and we just hang out during the day. And especially as a freshman coming in, that was huge because you go in to that first week of classes and everything already having like kind of your people, and you've got guys that you can rely on, upperclassmen that you know to go to for help. So that was always huge going in as a freshman. But like 2 guys took me in on their wing like immediately whenever I was a freshman, and even every year after, I've seen those freshmen come in and they just fit in seamlessly in that first week. And when you run like distance specifically, when you run 45 minutes like a day, you have no option but to get closer with each other because you just have to talk to each other to make the time pass. And I think that really bonds everybody really close. But the track team as well, kind of those like spring and fall camps that we spend together as a team and we get closer, it really bonds a lot of us together, and the community aspect that we have as an entire track team really is different than I would say any other sport on school. Yeah. And
earlier in our conversation, maybe even a little bit before we got onto the camera, you were talking about your position on the team. Could you describe that a little bit more, please?
Yeah, so I'm one of the captains on the team. I'm one of 3 of the men's captains, and so I'm the distance and the cross-country captain in the fall. And that started this semester when we had Grant DeWitt, our last captain. He actually transitioned to coach going into this spring, and I became the captain. And then we switched coaches to our new distance coach, Coach Smith. But yeah, it's been an interesting role. I was honored that the team trusted me enough to be a captain. It definitely takes some growing into like, you know, knowing when to speak, knowing when to hold your tongue, knowing when to like, oh, I can't say that anymore because I'm supposed to be leading you. You have to grow a lot, especially when you spend so much time with those guys. But it's been a really unique opportunity, and it's been good to grow with a lot of the other leaders on the team.
Awesome. And what was one of the pieces of advice that you got from the people who mentored you whenever you became a distance runner that you've been pouring into some of the other people since you've been the captain?
Yeah, goodness, I was super close to Grant DeWitt, who was our captain and coach at the beginning of this indoor season. Man, he taught me a lot of things, but I would say to remain open-minded. And I think when you start to get better, not only as an athlete but as a person, is when you start to focus on the team more, and you realize, you know, it's kind of bigger than you, it's bigger than running. And when you trust the training, when you show up, when you do what the coach says, you know you'll get better. So if you just focus on the team, what you can do for the team, and you take that step back and start serving others, even as a captain, I think that allows you to get better as an athlete, but it also just reshifts your priorities, and that helps you balance everything and put track into balance with what you're doing outside of track. So I would say stepping back and like serving the rest of your team and doing what you can to be the best role player on the team is probably the best piece of advice I think I've gotten since I've been on the track team, yeah.
Also, with the onset of the passing of Devin, how has that impacted you as a leader and also the team at large?
Yeah, it hit everybody hard. I ran early that day whenever they called everybody back for the team meeting. And I called a teammate up and asked what was up. And we heard the news. Definitely wasn't a dry eye in that room when it happened. We heard about it. I think everybody took it hard, and especially as close as we are as a team, you feed off of each other. And Coach Staley said this, but we feed off each other, and so good or bad emotions, we're all feeding off of each other. And even if we didn't, like distance runners didn't know him as well as obviously the hurlers did. But we all felt for each other in that moment. And even, the few chances I had with Devin, you know, I just remember his quiet nature. He was a super determined and strong guy, but he was very quiet in nature. And so it definitely hurt the team a lot, but it absolutely brought us together. It brought a lot of unity out of it. Competing at SBU 2 days later, everybody was, you know, we had the option to run that weekend, and a lot of people ran that. Almost the entire team ran and competed that weekend because we had something to run for. So a lot of PRs happened. You know, a lot of people, we were all running for Devon. We knew it was bigger than us that weekend. So it's brought a lot of unity into the team. And I know as a leader, managing, everybody grieves differently. So balancing that out and allowing people grace and space to grieve. And it's been an emotional, we talked about it yesterday in our team meeting, it's been an emotionally taxing 2 weeks. And so this past weekend, a lot of people, you know, running on tired legs, whether you knew it or not, because it's just emotional, like emotions and stress definitely wear down on your body and your legs. So that building up all week takes it out of you, but our team definitely came together, and it was good to see. You hate for it to happen that way, but everybody on the team definitely came together out of that. And we were all there for each other, and I think as far as our team goes, we handled that the best way possible, and I was really proud of our team and how we handled that, and we're definitely closer because of it.
Awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing how you guys are doing, and that the unity, even though this is very painful right now, that the unity is still there, and to encourage one another through this through the season. And we're here rooting for you guys every single day. You guys are so awesome. But Evan, thank you so much for coming in today and for sharing with us some of your past and some of the stuff that the team is doing so well and where you guys are going next. We really appreciate it. Coming up next, we'll look at the latest results of the NBA, XFL, and MLB. Stay tuned.
The big guy comes up to bat, hitting .342 with 92 RBIs and 36 homers.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
Thanks for calling the GED Pep Talk Center. Jerry Stiller speaking. Your level 7 in-your-face pep talk.
I can keep pushing. Believe me, I'm good at it.
Once you've got your GED diploma, you'll feel so good about yourself.
You tell him.
Mr. Trejo, can I transfer this guy to you? He needs something a little more
persuasive.
Yes.
Whatever motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Get your GED pep talk and find free classes at yourged.org.
They say that when you're facing extreme danger, your life flashes before you. If you think that's sad, consider facing it before you even have enough life to flash before your eyes. Deaths and injuries can be prevented by using the right car seat. Visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat to know what is appropriate for each age and size.
When some people struggle with their mortgage payments, they become frozen, petrified. Not knowing what to do, they do nothing. But the people who take action are far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making home affordable is a free government program. Call now to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about the options that are right for you. Real help, real answers, right now.
The Los Angeles Lakers are surging right into postseason play as a 7th seed in the Western Conference as they defeated the Utah Jazz on Easter Sunday with a score of 128-117. LeBron James hit 8 3-pointers and scoring 36 points for the night. The Lakers never pulled away from the Jazz, who stayed within one possession down the stretch, despite resting several key players. The Lakers will now face the Timberwolves in a play-in game on Tuesday night.
On Saturday, April 8th, the XFL team St. Louis Battlehawks and the Florida Vipers went toe-to-toe in St. Louis. During the first 2 quarters, the Vipers moved quickly to gain the lead. Scoring 11 points overall, the Vipers held a lead over the Battlehawks by a 3-point margin. The last 2 quarters proved to be interesting. Neither team was able to gain any points during the third quarter, but that changed in the fourth quarter. The Battlehawks swooped down and were able to score 9 points, causing the game to go into overtime since both teams had 17 points. In overtime, the Battlehawks destroyed the Vipers and won with a final score of 21-17.
The Kansas City Royals hit the road to face the San Francisco Giants to bring a hard-fought victory back home. Kansas City trailed 5-1 in the 7th inning. To begin their rally, Salvador Perez hit a tying 3-run homer in the 8th inning, and Nate Eaton scored on a wild pitch in the 9th as the Kansas City Royals rallied past the San Francisco Giants 6-5 on Saturday. This win makes the Royals 2-0 on the road.
On Saturday the 8th, the Augusta National Golf Club held day 3 of a 4-day tournament in Augusta, Georgia. Tiger Woods, who participated in this tournament, withdrew that day due to intense pain that he was feeling in his leg during the suspension of the tournament due to heavy rain conditions. Woods' injuries were caused by a car accident that took place February of 2021. This accident caused him to develop plantar fasciitis in his right leg. This is the second championship in the last year that Woods has withdrawn from due to his injuries. At this time, we do not know if he'll participate in the upcoming tournament in May. As for the winner of the Masters tournament, the honor belongs to John Ram from Spain. Man, just being able to see how the Masters went. Yeah. John Ram from Spain, able to do that, to pull off. But it is really sad that Tiger Woods developed a pain in his leg due to the rain conditions and it being cold. But hopefully he'll be able to play again soon.
Really unfortunate for him. And then in the NBA, the play-in games are beginning. So the Lakers are going to play the Timberwolves on tonight, Tuesday. And the winner of that game, the 7 and 8 seed, is going to play the Grizzlies next week.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So cool.
When we come back, we'll have the EUTV Player of the Week.
We'll also have the upcoming Evangel games this week. We'll be right back.
Jack Frost, you do have beautiful teeth.
My what?
Are they really as white as they say? Yes. Oh, they really do sparkle like freshly fallen snow. This is an excellent example of what teeth should look like. Check out the iridescence of that incisor, the beauty of that bicuspid, the magnificence of those molars. And the best way to achieve such terrific teeth is brushing. 2 minutes, twice a day. Not 30 seconds, not a minute 45. 2 minutes. That's all it takes. They're beautiful.
Really?
Buzz, what's up, man? You left some leaves burning out here.
Yeah, I just came in just for a second.
Come on, man. If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. You could torch the whole neighborhood.
It's a good point there, Smokey.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
This is one amazing truffula tree. Can you imagine a place where these grow everywhere? Yes, it's called the forest, a magical place to enjoy with your family. Ooh. So discover the forest and explore all the wonder that's there. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Well, come on, man.
Welcome back to Sports Update. In just a few minutes, we will take a look at the upcoming games for Evangel University so that you can get all the info on when and where to support Valor Sports. But for now, we will take a look at the EUTV Sports Player of the Week.
This week's EUTV Sports Player of the Week is Delaney Weimer. Delaney was one of the many Valor track athletes to have a good outing this past weekend. Delaney ran a time of just over 12 seconds in the 100-meter dash. Delaney would place 7th overall in the meet and was one of the 10 track athletes to place among the top 15. Congratulations to Delaney. Just being able to see how Delaney Weimer has progressed, and she got 7th place, got to score out of the top 15 players at the tournament. That's like absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and then she had just around 12 seconds for a 100-meter dash. That is amazing. Way to go, girl.
Way to go. And now let's go to the upcoming games of the week. First, we have men's golf happening Tuesday, April 11th in Marshall, Missouri.
And women's golf will play Tuesday, April 11th at Marshall, Missouri.
For baseball, we have a doubleheader on Friday, April 14th in Olaf, Kansas, and then we'll also have a doubleheader on Saturday, April 15th in Olaf, Kansas as well.
Softball will play Wednesday, April 12th against Mid-America Nazarene as a doubleheader.
Also, there's going to be a doubleheader on Friday, April 14th for softball in Marshall, Missouri.
And softball will also play Saturday, April 15th against Culver Stockton in Canton, Missouri.
And for men and women's tennis, there's going to be a game Thursday, April 13th at the Cooper Tennis Complex, and also Saturday, April 15th in Sterling, Kansas.
And for track and field, they'll play Friday, April 14th in Warrensburg, Missouri in UCM.
Way to go, Evangel Valor. I'm really excited to see how the games progress and how, for the softball teams, they're going to be playing in 3 different locations. I'm really excited to see how those games turn out.
Yeah, there's a ton of games this week all over the place, but tennis will play at home.
Yes.
Thursday, so that'll be something to look forward to.
Yes, absolutely amazing. Well, that's all for the time that we have for today for Sports Update. I'm Nathan Amati.
And I'm Kayan Swasham. This is our last show of the semester, so join us in the fall when we return. For more information on Evangel Sports, go to evangelathletics.com. This has been Sports Update on EU TV.